The galaxy never cared much about humans. Compared to ancient races who had ruled the stars for thousands of years, humans were new, fragile, and loud. They built fast ships, asked too many questions, and refused to know their place. The Galactic Council allowed humanity to exist only because humans were useful workers and brave soldiers. No one ever imagined humans could become something more. That belief shattered the moment a human baby opened his eyes. The birth happened on a quiet medical station floating near the edge of human-controlled space. It was a small place, used mostly for civilian care and emergency deliveries. No important leaders, no military presence, no reason for attention. Liam's mother was an ordinary human woman, tired and scared but happy. The pregnancy had been normal. Every skin showed a healthy human child. Nothing strange. Nothing special. Until the baby cried. The sound cut through the room like a blade. The nurse smiled at first, relieved, until she looked down. Her breath stopped. The doctor followed her gaze and felt his heart drop. The baby's eyes were open, glowing faintly in the dim light. They were not human eyes. The pupils were vertical, sharp and narrow, like a predator's. Like something from legends whispered only in forbidden archives. Dragon eyes. The room went silent. Machines hummed. The baby cried again, unaware of the terror he caused. The doctor stepped back, hands shaking. Dragons were not supposed to exist. Not anymore. They were ancient beings of fire and space, destroyers of worlds. Entire civilizations had burned trying to stop them long ago. The galaxy survived only because the dragons were sealed away beyond reality itself. And now, one had somehow touched humanity. The nurse whispered, "This isn't possible." The doctor said nothing. He activated emergency protocols without explaining why. Deep inside the station, systems older than human technology awakened. Signals invisible to human sensors shot across space faster than light, carrying one message to the heart of the galaxy. Dragon signature detected. In a chamber of impossible size, the Galactic Council gathered in panic. This was not a normal meeting. No public record. No witnesses. The eldest beings sat in silence as the data appeared in the air. A human infant. Pure human DNA. And unmistakable dragon traits. "This must be an error," one counselor said. "There are no errors at that level," another replied. The eldest spoke slowly. "A dragon was born once before. We nearly lost the galaxy." Arguments exploded. Some demanded immediate destruction of the station. Others warned that killing a dragon-touched being could break ancient seals. Finally, the council reached a decision born from fear, not wisdom. Silence. Erase the record. Wipe the memories. Let the child live, but never be known. Back on the medical station, the memory purge activated. A strange pressure filled the room. The doctor blinked and suddenly felt confused. The nurse wiped tears from her eyes without knowing why she was crying. The fear vanished like a dream fading after sleep. The only one unaffected was the baby, held close by his mother. She looked into her son's eyes and smiled. To her, they were just beautiful, a strange golden color. She named him Liam. The station logs rewrote themselves. Noé Amélie. Noé Lert. Just another human birth. The Galactic Council relaxed, convincing themselves the problem was buried. But even ancient powers cannot erase destiny so easily. That night, as Liam slept, the station lights flickered. Energy rippled through the walls. Deep in space, something ancient stirred. It was not fully awake, but it felt a pull, like a distant heartbeat calling through the dark. A presence long sealed shifted slightly, sensing something new had entered the universe. Liam dreamed. He dreamed of flying without wings. Of stars rushing past him like sparks from a fire. Of warmth, not heat, surrounding him like a promise. His eyes glowed softly as he slept, and unseen systems recorded power levels they could not explain. Days passed. Then weeks. Nothing happened, and the council convinced themselves again that silence had worked. But they were watching now. Always watching. Hidden sensors tracked Liam's growth. Every breath. Every heartbeat. They told themselves it was control. In truth, it was fear. As Liam grew, strange things followed him. Machines nearby worked better. Broken lights flickered back to life. People felt calm when he was near, though they could not say why. Animals watched him with respect, not fear. None of it was dramatic. None of it obvious. But it was enough. The council debated again. Some argued for removal. Others warned it was already too late. Dragons did not grow like normal beings. They awakened. When Liam was only a few months old, the station drifted through a region of space known for strange interference. Human sensors failed. The crew panicked. Then everything stabilized at once. Power surged clean and perfect. The captain never knew why. Far away, ancient seals cracked just a little. The eldest counselor felt it and closed his eyes. "The child lives," he said quietly. "And the galaxy will remember what it tried to forget." Liam slept peacefully, unaware that his existence had already changed the balance of power among the stars. He was not a weapon. He was not a mistake. He was something new. A human baby born with dragon eyes. And the universe was not ready for him. That Liam's childhood passed quietly on the surface, but beneath that calm, the galaxy held its breath. The Galactic Council never removed their eyes from him. They watched through devices hidden between dimensions, sensors woven into the fabric of space itself. To them, Liam was not a child. He was a risk that breathed, slept, and grew stronger every day. To humans, Liam was simply different. By the age of 4, he spoke less than other children, but when he did, adults listened without knowing why. His words carried weight. Teachers felt uneasy when correcting him, as if they were the ones being judged. Other children sensed something too. Some were drawn to him. Others avoided him instinctively, unable to explain the quiet pressure they felt when he looked at them. Liam's eyes were always hidden behind dark lenses. His mother told people he was sensitive to light. That part was true, but not in the way they imagined. Liam did not see the world the way humans did. He saw heat as color, emotions as shifting shadows, machines as flowing patterns of energy. When something was broken, he could feel where reality had slipped out of alignment. He never told anyone, not even his mother. Instinct guided him. Dragons survived by instinct long before they ruled the stars. The first time Liam realized he was being watched, he was 6 years old. He stood alone in his room late at night, staring at the ceiling. He felt it then, a pressure, faint but constant, like eyes pressing against his thoughts. He looked directly at the corner of the room and whispered, "I know." A cloaked observation drone short-circuited instantly. Across the galaxy, alarms flared. The council panicked but said nothing publicly. They increased observation, not realizing they had already crossed a line. Liam did not fear them. Fear was something dragons learned after destruction. Liam learned something else. Patience. Years passed. By 10, Liam could control what leaked from him. He learned how to dim the strange influence he had on the world. He practiced being normal, smiling when expected, losing games on purpose, staying quiet when he knew answers others did not. Humanity taught him humility. Dragons had never learned that lesson. The council mistook his restraint for weakness. They debated action again. Some demanded termination before full awakening. Others feared that harming him would trigger what the ancient seals barely contained. The eldest counselor spoke only once during those meetings. "He is not like them," the elder said. "That may be the most dangerous thing of all." The first real incident happened when Liam was 12. A human mining colony orbiting a dead moon was attacked by raiders. Fast ships, advanced weapons, no survivors expected. The Galactic Council observed, expecting tragedy. Liam was visiting the colony with his mother at the time. When the first explosion hit, panic spread. Humans ran. Alarms screamed. Liam stood still. He felt it then, the pull. The deep, ancient thing inside him stirring, not with rage but with purpose. He stepped outside into vacuum without thinking. The cold did not touch him. Space bent around his body like it recognized him. The raiders' ships failed one by one. Not exploded. Not destroyed. Simply stopped. Power cores overheated and shut down safely. Weapons went dead. Engines froze in place. Survivors later swore they saw a boy floating in space. Eyes glowing like twin suns. looking at them with disappointment. The council erased every recording within seconds. Witness memories were altered. Official reports blamed a system malfunction. But fear does not need proof to grow. That night, ancient symbols ignited on worlds long abandoned. Seals weakened further. Something vast shifted in its sleep. Liam returned home and said nothing. His mother hugged him tighter than usual, sensing something had almost taken her son away. Liam stared out at the stars and felt, watched differently now. Not just by the council. By something older. At 16, Liam understood the truth. He was not fully human. But he was not a dragon either. Dragons dominated. Umanjadapta. Whatever he was, it was something new. Something balanced. The council finally made its move. Agents infiltrated Earth quietly, hiding behind diplomatic agreements and scientific exchanges. They planned to isolate Liam, study him, and if necessary, remove him from reality entirely. They underestimated one thing. Liam had already seen them coming. When the agents activated their containment field, reality pushed back. Liam did not attack. He looked at them calmly and spoke one sentence. Stop hiding. Across the galaxy, ancient seals cracked open like old scars. Dragons stirred, not in fury but curiosity. For the first time since their imprisonment, they felt something unfamiliar. Hope. The council realized too late that silence had never been control. It had only been delay. Liam was awake now, fully aware. And humanity stood at the center of something the galaxy could no longer contain. The child they tried to erase had grown. And the stars were listening. That Liam's 17th year arrived with the kind of quiet tension that could shatter worlds. Humans around him thought he was just another teenager, though sharper, calmer, more perceptive. The Galactic Council, however, knew differently. Every whisper, every heartbeat, every choice Liam made was tracked by eyes that had seen civilizations rise and fall. They believed that now was the time to act. The Council deployed their fleet quietly, cloaking massive warships beyond Earth's orbit. They masked their approach with diplomatic messages and falsified trade negotiations, but Liam could feel them. The same pressure he had sensed as a child, now stronger, heavier, like the gaze of 1,000 ancient minds focused entirely on him. Yet he did not panic. He had learned patience, restraint, and observation. The Council's fear made them predictable. Their arrogance made them slow. When the first fleet appeared in orbit, humans below panicked. Military channels lit up with warnings and scrambled defenses. Liam stood on a terrace, looking at the sky as if it were a painting he had memorized. He did not move. He did not call for help. He simply concentrated, letting his presence flow outward. The warships quivered, systems glitching, engines humming strangely as if reality itself resisted them. Within moments, the fleet stalled, powerless, floating like toy ships in the vacuum. Not destroyed, not burned, simply immobilized. The Council's most senior representative appeared on a holoscreen, their face pale beneath thousands of years of carefully hidden pride. Liam, they said, voice trembling despite centuries of authority. Step away from the human population. We demand compliance. Stand down. Liam's eyes glowed faintly behind his lenses. I am not a threat, he said softly. But you have lied to my people for too long. You have hidden the truth, spread fear, and treated humans like children. You will stop. The Council's representatives hesitated, realizing that negotiation had failed before it even began. Liam did not raise a hand, did not fire a weapon. And yet, their entire fleet could not move. Energy flows reversed inside their engines, shields flickered, weapons shut down mid-charge. Humans below watched the spectacle, terrified and awestruck, unaware of the invisible battle taking place beyond comprehension. It was then that the dragons awoke. Not fully, not with fire or wrath, but as observers. From the edges of known space, sealed worlds flickered with energy, ancient beings stirring, sensing the child who carried their legacy. They did not attack. They did not demand allegiance. They watched. And the Council realized with a jolt of panic that their control over the galaxy had been overestimated. They had counted on fear. They had counted on secrecy. They had counted on silence. But Liam embodied something neither humans nor dragons alone had perfected. He was adaptation fused with legacy, power tempered by morality, strength guided by empathy. He could have burned the council fleets into dust, claimed dominion, rewritten the rules of existence, but he did not. He simply stood and let them feel their own helplessness, the first taste of true humility in millennia. Hours passed in this tense standoff. Then Liam took a step forward, his voice steady. You will leave Earth's orbit and promise never to interfere with human sovereignty again. The galaxy will learn from humans, not dominate them. Understand this now, or we will find another way. The council wavered. For the first time, centuries of confidence shattered. Some argued for immediate withdrawal. Others wanted to fight, to destroy this anomaly before it matured. But the balance had shifted. The dragons, ancient and wise, intervened silently, subtly reinforcing the child's will. It was a quiet statement, but it carried weight no weapon could match. After tense deliberation, the fleets disengaged. The council's representatives vanished from sight, leaving Earth's orbit eerily quiet. Humanity had survived untouched, not because of weapons or cunning, but because of a single boy who had learned to endure rather than dominate. Liam returned to the planet's surface, walking among humans as if nothing had happened. People whispered, eyes following him. They did not understand the significance of what had just occurred, but they sensed it. The air felt lighter. The sky looked brighter. Somewhere deep inside, humans felt that the stars themselves were watching differently now. With the council retreating, a new era began. The dragons revealed themselves, not as conquerors, but as guardians. They had been sealed for millennia, waiting for someone like Liam. He was not just human. He was the bridge between what had been feared and what could be understood. The council's fear had been the catalyst for change, but humanity's quiet resilience was the reason for survival. Under Liam's watchful eyes, humans advanced in ways the council had never imagined. Conflicts were resolved with strategy rather than fire. Technology progressed not merely for dominance, but for balance. And Liam, carrying the legacy of dragons, became a symbol, not of terror, but of the potential that humans could achieve when free from oppression and fear. Even the stars themselves seemed to respond. Light traveled differently, distant planets pulsed with faint energy, and whispers of ancient beings echoed through space. They were no longer threats. They were allies, waiting patiently, observing the growth of a species that the galaxy had once dismissed as weak. As Liam matured, he became a leader without claiming authority. Humans looked to him not because he demanded it, but because his presence inspired trust, courage, and hope. Where others saw impossibility, he saw potential. Where others hesitated, he acted with clarity. His dragon eyes, once feared, now symbolized the fusion of legacy and future, a promise that power could be wielded responsibly. Years later, Liam stood on the edge of a new colony, watching ships depart for distant worlds. Children played nearby, some of them peering curiously at his eyes, sensing something extraordinary within. The Galactic Council had retreated into the shadows, humbled, aware that they had misjudged humanity. And the dragons, silent and patient, continued to observe, knowing that one day humanity would join them not as conquerors, but as equals. Liam's journey had begun in secrecy and fear. It had passed through observation, patience, and restraint. And now, it stretched into the galaxy itself, a living testament to the power of endurance, understanding, and the quiet strength of a species that refused to be underestimated. Humanity had survived. Humanity had grown. And the stars, long dominated by ancient powers, were finally learning the true meaning of strength. In the end, it was not fire that changed the galaxy. It was a boy, a human, Liam, born with dragon eyes, carrying the legacy of ancient power, yet guided by the quiet wisdom of humanity itself. And as he looked up at the stars, Liam smiled, knowing that the universe had finally begun to understand that humans were dangerous, not because they destroyed, but because they endured, adapted, and inspired. The galaxy had feared him. The council had tried to erase him. And the dragons had waited for him. But Liam had already changed everything.